Hello and happy Friday. My name is Michael Leeserman here with the Trial Guide's tip of the day. The date is November 7th, 2025. And our tip today comes from Bill Barton, who's here to read from his now classic book, Recovering for Psychological Injuries. Thank you so much for being here, Bill.
Good morning, Michael, and thank you. I want to talk at you and to you. I'll read it, and then I want to get underneath it. The damages in this lawsuit shall be fair and shall be reasonable. This is an instruction in effect. Long before you became officers of this court, the word fair did not mean in the middle. The word fair did not mean half. The word fair didn't mean mediocre. We're talking about fairness, meaning justice, and half justice is worse than no justice. Now, I want to give Mo Levine a lot of credit for this. He talked about the whole person. And this idea, I think, is very big. It goes back a long ways. I don't think it takes a lot of elaboration, but I want you to think about it because now there's one thing I do want to underline. The best big damage is driven by big liability, okay? And small liability tends to promote smaller damages. I know analytically in a law school exam, they're not the same thing. But intuitively, not deductively, but intuitively, jurors smear one across the other as a form of distributive justice. And so I just want you to think about the relationship between liability and damages and what is fair. And there, but grace of God go I. And they pick the plaintiff, and now they want to highlight their shortcomings and start parsing away at the consequences. So this is a big idea. It goes back to Mo Levine and many of those before him.
The fair and reasonable. I'm curious to give our audience some examples, and I've focused in my closings on reasonable, not fair, but I think you can do both. So I'll say something like, I'll read the instruction and say your verdict must be fair and reasonable. And what does that mean? Reasonable isn't like a reasonably priced dinner. It's not like the in-between dinner. Reasonable means using your reason, what makes sense here. And let's look at the full value of this, right? What was taken. And what is a fair and reasonable verdict in this case is a huge number. Because what was taken, the value of what the wrongdoer took is huge. So the fair and reasonable value of this is a huge verdict. That's how I talk about it, but I'm curious your thoughts.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you, what we're really doing, if you step back analytically, is we're kind of commodifying something and putting a price tag on it. We're commodifying something called pain and suffering.
Yeah, that's the job. Yeah.
Giving it a value. Now, our instincts, like if you go to Europe, where and I'm going to say this, America is the only country in the world virtually that has civil jury trials guaranteed. And the headwaters of the common law England during World War II, when all the men were at war, they suspended civil jury trials at the time because they couldn't get a trial of your peers. After the war, they reinstated civil jury trials only in libel and slander. So largely in the continent, damages are commodified much like a scheduled thing from workers' comp. Now that is the default setting, and it takes everybody and amortizes things over units of 1,000. And what is this worth? I mean, that's really the backdrop. And I like to get out of that and say, we're not here to commodify this, while in a sense it may feel like it. What we're doing is we're taking this particular person, one, and we're finding out what these losses mean to this person, and we're giving it a value.
Yeah.
Now, that is different than commodifying something. That is different than a rate or schedule. And it gets into an intrinsic versus an extrinsic measurement. What is important? The widow and the mites, Luke 21, 1-4. To this woman, these two mites, when she went through, they were everything she had, and they were worth less than anything all day, all that morning, anybody had given. But Christ turned to the apostle and he said, she has given more. So that gets us outside of this scheduled commodification into an intrinsic, personal, almost sentimental perspective, honoring the individual.
Wow. I love your energy. I love your wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing it with us today.
Thank you, my friend.
Let's pause, take a deep breath together, and just be grateful to be alive this Friday. May the work that we do today help to reduce suffering in the world. May it help repair the world. May we fiercely and compassionately advocate for our clients' causes. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now. This can take you to whatever place is sacred to you, a place of meditation, a place of prayer, or just let the sounds wash over you and remind you it's Friday. Go out, do good things, and have fun while you're doing it. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.